Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks, changing speeds east and west, a gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright, the father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play, Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for zip, boom, bam, ram-a-lam-a, ding-dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the Great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright
7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off, the designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani, 47 home runs, 106 RBI, 48 stolen bases, batting .290. Batting second, playing right, Mookie Betts, 17 home runs, 68 RBI, 14 stolen bases, batting .299. Teoscar Hernandez is batting third and playing left, 29 home runs, 89 RBI, 11 stolen bases, batting .268. Batting cleanup, playing first, Freddie Freeman, 21 home runs, 84 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .280. Will Smith is behind home plate and batting fifth, 18 home runs, 70 RBI, batting .248. Tommy Edman is in center field with 5 home runs, 15 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .300. Miguel Rojas back at short and batting seventh, 5 home runs, 34 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .294. Max Muncy is batting eighth and playing third, 15 home runs, 40 RBI, a .225 average. Kike Hernandez is batting ninth and playing second, 9 home runs, a .215 average, 33 RBI. On the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight, it's Yamamoto night. He's 6-2 with a .277 ERA, a 1.05 whip, 78 innings pitched, 65 hits allowed, 92 strikeouts, 17 walks, and 6 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Mad Max. Max Fried is 9-9 with a .346 ERA, a 1.22 whip, 153 innings pitched, 136 hits allowed, 144 strikeouts, 51 walks, 13 home runs given up. Backing up Mad Max in the bottom of the first inning and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. 11 home runs, 39 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .245. Batting second and in right field, it's Jorge Soler. 18 home runs, 57 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .228. Marcell Ozuna is your designated hitter with 37 home runs, 98 RBI, batting .304. Matt Olson is batting cleanup and playing first. 25 home runs, 87 RBI, a .239 average. Ramon Laureano is back in left field and batting fifth. 8 home runs, 25 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .250. Sean Murphy is behind home plate and batting sixth. 9 home runs, 23 RBI, a .203 clip. Lando Arcia batting seventh and playing short. 16 home runs, 45 RBI, batting .220. Gio Urshela is batting eighth and playing third. 6 home runs, 44 RBI, .240 average. And Whit Merrifield is batting ninth and playing second. He has a .226 average with 4 home runs, 15 RBI, 16 stolen bases. Calling balls and strikes tonight behind home plate is Jordan Baker. Your first base umpire is Stu Sherwater. John Lipka is manning second, and down the third base line, it's Dan Merzel. Game time temperatures in Truist Park are expected to be around 78 degrees at first pitch, with the wind blowing out to right field at 10 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves come in 13 games over 500. The Dodgers, 88-61. Atlanta Braves are plus 115 on the money line. Dodgers minus 135. The over-under is 7.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Trolley Dodgers, Game 4 of a 4-game set. Braves are looking to win the series up 2-1 behind the left arm of Mad Max. We've got the Mad Max emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members. Yamamoto, someone that the Atlanta Braves have never seen before. Our pick to click tonight, give me Ramon Laureano. The Braves to win a tight one. Atlanta Dodgers 2. It's time to warm up those chop arms, Country Club, in Braves Country. Get your game face on. Let's keep the pressure on the Mets and the Diamondbacks, who aren't far in front.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. How the hell are you? Time to get back to the winning ways of your Atlanta Braves. One thing I do want to remind you before we go into roll call, Max Fried, if you look at some of the numbers of the Dodgers lineup versus Max Fried, Shohei Ohtani is 3 for 3 lifetime with a home run, 2 RBIs. But remember, that was the matchup where Max Fried was pitching awful. He was absolutely awful out in L.A., and Ohtani tore him up. I believe it was a Sunday afternoon, if memory serves me correct. But that is why, if you're looking at the numbers, you're like, good Lord. So hopefully he has much better luck tonight. Obviously, Ohtani's not someone that you can ever take lightly. But the point being, we hope that we get a much, much better Max Fried tonight. The other numbers you want to look at tonight, Mookie Betts is 2 for 27 lifetime versus Max Fried, so you'll love that. Teoscar Hernandez is 2 for 7. He does have a home run against Max. Freddie Freeman is 2 for 11. And Will Smith has a home run, but he's only 3 for 22. So all in all, up and down the lineup, other than Tommy Edman, who's 5 for 14 with no home runs, and Miguel Rojas, who's 9 for 28, you do have to look at, well, for whatever reason, Max Muncy, a left-handed power bat, is 5 for 16 lifetime with 2 home runs. But the top of the lineup of the Dodgers has not fared well except for Shohei Ohtani, but he's only seen Mad Max once. And if you remember that outing, I mean, he was getting all of the play. I mean, Mad Max got absolutely destroyed out there. It wasn't just Ohtani that was pounding him. So hopefully we get the good Max and not the version they saw out in L.A. earlier this year. Once again, the pick to click. I'm going with Ramon Laureano. Look, no one has seen this guy pitch yet. First time anybody on the Braves roster has ever seen. Yamamoto, always interested to see who y'all are picking. Throw them in the chat, and it's time for roll call.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
All right, Braves Cunty, just a few minutes away from first pitch, pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Real quick on roll call. Let's see who is in the chat, chatting it up here on a Monday night. Good to see you, Daryl, and your other brother, Daryl. Good to see you, John. The Beeve, Country Club member. Robert, Country Club member. Billy Sanford, Country Club member. Good to see y'all tonight. Justin. We've got Country Club member David S. in the chat tonight. Good to see you, Jameson. Hope you're feeling well. Good to see you, Daniel. And who else do we have here? I'm pretty sure I already said Billy Sanford, Country Club member. Nathaniel Brooks, Country Club member. And Travis. Gary. See who else do we have? Stone Wolf. Tim, Country Club member. Good to see you. I think that's everybody. If we missed anybody, just jump back in the chat. And we'll keep on going as this game goes on. The Braves are going to be wearing their home whites top to bottom. The classic Braves across the chest outlined in blue. Navy, tomahawk underneath. Blue ball caps, red bills, white A, the classic look. One of the greatest caps in all of sports. And the Dodgers will be wearing their classic road grays with Dodgers across the chest in Dodger blue. LA across the front. And if you know, you know, there ought to be a B, not an LA. Here we go. It's just about time. Yes, sir. It is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way to Shohei Ohtani is a four-seamer right down the pipe. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Ohtani. Whoa, curveball. Almost got Ohtani. That's not what you want. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The 1-1 to Ohtani, down and in. 2-1. Ohtani, once again, 3 for 3 lifetime against Max. The 2-1 pitch brings it. 95 just kisses the black on the outer edge. So even up the count at 2 apiece. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 2-2 pitch brings it. Right there at the knees. Didn't get the call. Looked like it touched the edge. Jordan Baker is the pitcher, is the home plate umpire tonight. And I was disappointed because Carlson was supposed to be the umpire. And I don't know why they did the switch as the payoff pitch. Right there at the knees. Caught, looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. Shohei will go show his butt back to the bench, 1 away. But we've had Jordan Baker a few times in recent memory, and he has been, like as I like to say, spotting dimes and eating onions. I mean, he has been awful at best. That looked like an actual pretty good pitch. First pitch to Mookie Betts is a teardrop curve up top. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. Mookie Betts digs in. The 0-1 swing. That ball's rifled towards left field. Coming in, jogging in, making the catch is Ramon Laureano. 2 away. 2 down. We'll get the 3D going as soon as it populates and we can get it squared up. Usually takes a few outs. Teoscar Hernandez batting third tonight, something they did the other night with Freddie batting fourth. First pitch on the way to Hernandez is a curveball right there at the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Dodgers nothing, Braves nothing. The 0-1. Lefty righty. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, 96 miles an hour. 1-1. 1-1 count. Smurf sets up on the outer edge. The 1-1 pitch. Just below the knees. 2-1. Looked like it grabbed the zone. I think we're just about set to switch over, so bear with me. We lost connection on the feed that shares the screen. The 2-1. Brings it. 95 up top, getting pinched already. 3-1. That one definitely looked like it hit the zone once again. From what I have in my notes from Jordan Baker is that he calls low strikes and wide strikes, but not the high. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Sinker blew it right by him. 3-2. Three-two count. Lefty righty. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. The payoff pitch from Fried. Kicks and brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him. 3 up, 3 down. We'll grab the bats here in Atlanta. Michael, Jorge, and Big Zoo coming to the plate.
What kind of names were these kids calling you at the pool?
Meathead, Fatso, Lard Butt, Lally the Whale.
Porky, Hog, Fat Ass, Double Wide, Butterball, those sorts of things, right?
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. It's a tough time for any kid, and especially now as he stands naked under the world out there in right field, and they taunt him and they chant his name.
He takes his cap off and reacts to it. It's just been a tough time.
I tell you, it's a tough business. And the chant continues, the taunt of Strawberry. High fly ball to Strawberry. Wind blowing it. One away. Boy, they're really on his case. Oh.
Armchair.
No one ever saw anything graceful or picturesque about Wagner on the diamond. His movements have been likened to the gambols of a caracoling elephant. He's so ungainly and so bow-legged that when he runs, his limbs seem to be moving in a circle after the fashion of a propeller. But he can run like the wind. New York American.
A Pennsylvania coal miner who had once hoped to become a barber, Wagner became a star in the Iron and Oil League, and in 1900 joined the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he played shortstop for 18 years. He hit better than 315 seasons in a row, stealing 722 bases, setting league records for at-bats and number of games played that stood for 4 decades.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Yamamoto fires the first pitch right there below the knees to Michael Harris II. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it foul. 1-1. What you'll see from Yamamoto is a 6-pitch mix. He leans on 3 main pitches, though. The 1-1 to Harris. 95 up top. 1-1. Or 2-1, excuse me. He throws a 4-seam fastball 40% of the time. Tops out around 96 miles an hour. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Throws a splitter 25% of the time, a curve 23% of the time. And then he'll mix in 3 other pitches just to keep you honest. He doesn't throw them that often. As the 2-2 to Michael. Fastball swung on, foul back. Do it again, 2-2. He's got a cutter, a slider, and a sinker. Combined, he throws all 3 of those just 11% of the time. So it's just enough to mix you up. But he's mainly 4-seam splitter curve. The 2-2, 90 misses up top, 3-2. And one of the things that I've had in my notes, because I remember seeing him in the early part of the year with pitching against other teams, is you'll notice if you're watching and following along, he'll change his delivery. The 3-2, down and in, ball 4. And that can lead to walks, but he does that to try to throw off the timing. So sometimes you'll see the full leg kick, and sometimes you'll see almost like a quick move, a slide step, to keep you off balance. It's pretty common for the pitchers in the Japanese leagues to do that. One on, nobody out. Jorge Soler stands in. First pitch, 95 inside, 1-0. Jorge batting .238 on the year. Good to see you pushing buttons, and welcome in Josh. The 1-0. Right there on the intercut, 1-1. Jillian, good to see you. The 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, pops it back foul, out of play, 1-2. Standing on deck is Marcell Ozuna. The Mets and the Nationals are playing right now. They started about 10 minutes before we did. It's 0-0 in New York. Braves and Mets tied for the last playoff spot. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. Good take by Soler. Tried to get him to chase that curveball in the dirt. You know, one thing you noticed last night, the Braves started the game very patient, working the counts. And then when they got to about the 4th or 5th inning, they started trying to ambush and they got in trouble. The 2-2 from Yamamoto. Caught looking, strike 3, 95, blew it right by him. Jorge Soler must have been sitting on the bender, one away. I mean, he just froze. He knew it. That pitch was right down Main Street. He had to have been looking for the soft stuff because the hard cheese came in and he couldn't pull the trigger. One down, Marcell Ozuna, man, is he in a home run drought and an RBI drought. He's been sitting on 37 home runs and 98 RBI. Seems like a few fortnights by now. They're going to toss it over to first to keep Harris close by. One on, one out. Ozuna batting .304. First pitch on the way. Runner goes. Here comes the throw. Good throw by Will Smith, but it kind of bounced to the side, and Michael's going to jump up. Not only is he safe at second, he's going to grab third. Man, that was a heck of a steal by Harris. Perfect timing. It was a pretty solid throw by Smith. The ball bounced, but Kike Hernandez should have made that play. Should have at least kept the runner at second, but he did not. So here we go. Infield drawn in now. First pitch on the way. After the 1-0 is inside 2-0. Looks like the Dodgers are now all the way in. They were halfway in after that first pitch. The 2-0. Yamamoto brings it up top for a strike. 2-1. Ozuna looking for something to drive into the outfield to bring home Harris. So 2-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's hammered over to third, and they're going to throw it over to first. He went to step on the bag. Not sure why. I guess he was trying to tag Harris. The ball was hit on the ground. It was a hard one hopper right at Muncy. Muncy went to chase Harris back to the bag. Harris got underneath it. Muncy had plenty of time to get the slow-footed Ozuna down at first. So 5-3 on the putout, 2 away. Hard hit ball just right at the teeth of the defense. Matt Olson stands in. First pitch, 96, way outside wide, 1-0. Might have gotten the call, but they were set up inside, so Smith had to slide over there to make the catch. Harris with the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. 2-0 count. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Good to see you, AY Country Club member. The 2-0. Down and in, 3-0. So they're pitching around, pushing buttons. Country Club member, I think we already said hi to you. We want to make sure we get everybody in. I think that's everybody. So a 3-0 count from Yamamoto. Standing on deck is Ramon Laureano. They set up outside wide. Here's the pitch. Down below the knees, ball 4. So runners on the corners and 2 outs. Coming to the plate is Ramon Laureano. Just like everybody else, he has not seen Yamamoto. Yamamoto, by the way, at 20 pitches. So if nothing else, you'd like to see him continue to work. And remember, this is just his second start off the IL. First pitch on the way is a curveball down below the knees, 1-0. He went, I believe it was 4 2/3 his first time out, and was around just below the 70 pitch mark. You know they want him healthy for the postseason, so they might treat him with kids' gloves. We might be able to get him out of the game. The 1-0 from Yamamoto. Swing! That ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at Muncy. He'll flip it over to first, and that'll end the inning. 5-4 on the putout. Braves put 2 on, but can't get them in. We head to the top of the second. Freddie Freeman is coming to the plate.
Shout out to my lungs for handling all the things my mental health can't.
Well, it's summer, and if you're like me, you're having a blast with some outdoor cocktails and maybe beer. There's another drink I've been considering thinking about. That's right. At this point in time, I've decided to mix in a water. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, how does that work? Great question. You've spent all summer drinking 8 straight seltzers and waking up the next morning feeling like you got hit by a school bus. But when you mix in a water, you give your body and soul a glimmer of hope that it'll overcome the beating you're putting it through. You see, we only get one physical human body on this earth, and I treat mine like a garbage can. So let's crack open a water and see if that fixes things. Is mixing in a water fun? No. It sucks. It feels extremely lame. A borderline party foul. I cannot think of a single thing I'd rather do less when I'm out having fun than mixing in a water. So what are you waiting for? Mix in a water and become a beacon of health today.
My ducks are absolutely not in a row. I don't even know where some of them are. And I'm pretty sure one of them's a pigeon. Or a pterodactyl.
And it turned out that old Honus was the best third baseman in the league. He was also the best first baseman, the best second baseman, the best shortstop, and the best outfielder. That was in fielding. And since he led the league in batting 8 times between 1900 and 1911, you know that he was the best hitter too, as well as the best base runner.
He had a powerful build. His 5'11", 200-pound frame, it was said, featured a massive chest that might have come from a barrel maker's shop, and shoulders broad enough to serve dinner on. His legs were badly bowed, but he had huge hands and arms so long, opposing players swore he could tie his shoes without bending over. Nothing seemed to get past him, and he threw so hard to first base that pebbles, scooped up as he fielded grounders, were said to arrive along with the ball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Thank you, Keith, for your donation. First pitch on the way as we begin the inning is a P at the knees for a strike. Sinker from Max to Freddie. It's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and fires. 93 inside, 1-1. So 1-1 count. Max Fried turns and tilts inside. Did he go around? They're going to check down the third base line. Dan Merzel, third base umpire, says no dice. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Lefty brings it. Four seam just out of the zone. 3-1. So Max Fried in danger of walking the leadoff runner. The 3-1 to Freddie. 94 just misses outside, ball 4. So what we've seen already from home plate umpire Jordan Baker is more the same. He is not going to give you anything. He's going to squeeze you. Not like what we've had over the last few nights where you've seen wide strikes called. And then he will be the type that it'll drive you crazy. You'll look up and he'll be calling it pretty tight, and then all of a sudden he widens his zone. First pitch up top to Will Smith is up high for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty, righty, Freddie. Pretty good lead. Curveball down and in, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. I see that the Beeve also gifted a country club membership. 2-0, 94 right there, 2-1. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Top of the second inning, 1 on, nobody out. Standing room only here in Truist Park on a Monday night in September. The pitch. Swing, fouls it straight back. Brought the heat. Slapped it right back behind home plate, 2-2. Braves head to Cincinnati for 3 after this one. 6:41 start Tuesday night and Wednesday night. 1:10 on Thursday. The 2-2. Whoa! Sweeper misses way high. 3-2. Good job by Smurf to keep that from going to the backstop. Now you got a full count. Freddie at first, the payoff pitch. Swing, that ball's chopped over to short. Arcia is going to get a 6-4-3 double play, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Arcia had to make a long go over towards third. So he was throwing off his back foot. He still has that rifle. Fired it to Merrifield, and Merrifield had just enough time to relay it down to Olsen. Wow. Nobody on, 2 outs. The first pitch on the way to Tommy Edman is down and in for a strike. It's 0-1. Tell you what, I know he wasn't playing well in Philadelphia, but Whit Merrifield has been an absolute season saver. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. And he was always a really good player. For folks who aren't familiar with him, he was a hell of a player for Kansas City for years. 1-1 down and in, 2-1. He played outfield, infield. Was always one of the guys that you would see up towards the top in the American League for stolen bases and runs scored. And that's what the Phillies thought they were getting. The 2-1 right there below the knees, 3-1. He signed a 1-year, $8 million deal with Philadelphia in the offseason, and he just did not click. I don't know if it was the atmosphere there or what. The 3-1 swing chops it over in between home and third, just foul, 3-2. High Baltimore chopper, probably best that thing did kick foul, because I don't know if he's getting Edman with his speed. Max Fried was the only one close to that ball. He had a long way to go. By the time he corralled it, he was almost walking into the Dodgers dugout. In a perfect world, I'd love to see them re-sign Merrifield. I just don't know if they'll be able to afford it, because what will his market value be? You would love to have him coming off the bench, platooning the 3-2. Swing, that ball's hit hard on the ground. Gio Urshela fires a P over to first, and it is a 5-3 putout to end the inning. Babyface and a double play. The defense is smoking tonight. We'll be back in a flash.
I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm going to get real weird with it.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by the best things in life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Let me tell you something. If the U.S. government decides to stick a tracking device up your ass, you say thank you and God bless America.
Bruh, my ex was like, "Are you already talking to someone else?" I was like, duh, there's a playlist.
February 1901. If we had waited for the National League to do something for us, we would have remained a minor league forever. The American League will be the principal organization of the country within a very short time. Mark my prediction. Ban Johnson.
Join us for Braves Country Baseball, first pitch to last pitch, right here.
To everyone who watches my life and gossips about it, don't give up. Season 2 is about to come out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Ozzie Albies took some infield practice today, and I think there's a very good chance we see him by the Miami series. They're still talking about whether or not he may go out on a rehab stint, just like one game to kind of work the cobwebs out. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is right there at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, fouls it straight back. 95 miles an hour. 0-2. Sean Murphy batting .203 on the year. .644 OPS. 9 home runs. The 0-2. Swung on, chopped foul. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the second inning. Yamamoto comes set. The 0-2 swung on, and that ball's grounded foul down the third base line. The 0-2, Yamamoto, 27th pitch of the night. Inside 1-2. Thank you for hitting that like button, smashing that sign. Century mark takes it down every night. 1-2 from Yamamoto. Swing! That ball is hit high and deep into center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Sean Murphy. He's trucking into second base. And your Atlanta Braves leadoff double. Look at that. We smashed the sign, and he smashes the ball over the center fielder's head. He had no chance at that. Well, that ball was smoked. So runner at second, nobody out. The first pitch on the way, right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Thank you for the donation, Keith. The 0-1 pitch swatted back foul, 0-2. An 0-2 count. Anyone who's watching us on Facebook or any of our other outlets, if you're listening to us on radio, jump on over to YouTube, where the biggest chat is at. It's Braves Country Radio on YouTube. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. The 0-2 pitch is inside, 1-2. I love that comment, Keith. Says, I'm 79 years old, never thought I would see technology like this in my life. I was amazed by it. Everything you see on the screen is happening on the field. The 1-2. Inside. Evens up the count at 2-2. The 2-2 count to Arcia. Mets and Nationals are scoreless in the fourth. Washington is batting. We're also keeping an eye tonight and the rest of the week, the rest of 2 weeks, we got 2 weeks left in the season, on Arizona and San Diego scores. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3, 3-2. Yamamoto, by the way, we talked about how he hasn't been off the IL long. And he's at 33 pitches, nobody out here in the second, so keep an eye on that. The payoff pitch to Orlando brings it. Swing, chops it over towards second. That'll be good enough to get the runner over to third. It's going to be a 4-3 putout, but Murphy standing 90 feet away. Once again, the Braves have a chance to get the go-ahead run home in. So coming to the plate now, Gio Urshela, or Babyface as I like to call him, 32 years old. You get a close-up, you'd still be carded that man for cigarettes. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Down and in. Did he go around? They checked down the line. He did. It's 0-1. Gio tried to hold up, but it did look like he offered. Urshela batting .240 on the year. You know, he's an unsung hero as well. When Murphy went down for this young man to be available off of waivers, infield is halfway in. They're not all the way in. And to the left, the 0-1 swing and a miss curveball, 0-2. His defense alone has kept the Braves afloat, and he'll get into one every once in a while. Washington has taken a 1-0 lead in New York. So good news on that front. Now the Braves need to get a run in. The 0-2, they set up high. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 96 blew it right by him, 2 away. 2 down in Whit Merrifield, who's toughing it out with the broken bone in his foot. They're calling it a fracture, but nonetheless, it can't feel good. Yes, I can, Beav. 1 second. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. 79-mile-an-hour curveball. Down below the knees, it's 1-0. So, Keith, if you're on a Android or on your desktop, there's a join button. If you're on an Apple device, they don't have the join button because the two companies butt heads. The 1-0 swung on, foul back, 1-1. But it should be at the top of it should be right there on the page, depending on what device you're using. And if you're on an Apple, you would be able to sign in on your Safari or whatever browser, and you should be able to do it there too. The 1-1 inside, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Merrifield trying to find a way to get Sean Murphy home from third. He'll be running at contact. The 2-1 to Witt. Inside, ball 3-1. Standing on deck is Michael Harris II. Yamamoto about to throw his 42nd pitch. The defense is back into the left. Freddie's by his lonesome over there on the right side. The 3-1 to Witt. Swing, that ball's hit right back up the middle, right at the second baseman into the shift. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. Freddie makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Braves once again are threatening, just can't crack through. We'll be back in a flash.
I just want to let you know that if I'm on your For You page, you probably smoke too much weed and you're a little bit mentally unstable.
10 things you may not know about Honus Wagner. Number 1. As a child, Johannes Peter was called Hans by his mother, which later evolved into Honus. Number 2. 3 of his brothers went on to become professional baseball players as well. His older brother, Albert Butts Wagner, is credited with getting him his first tryout. Number 3. In 1898, he won a distance contest in Louisville by throwing a baseball more than 403 feet. Number 4. When the American League began in 1901, the Chicago White Sox offered Wagner a $20,000 contract, but he turned it down, choosing instead to stay with the Pirates. Number 5. When he fielded grounders, his huge hands collected large scoops of infield dirt, which accompanied his throws to first like a tail of a comet. Number 6. In 1905, he signed a contract to produce the first bat with a player's signature, the Louisville Slugger, becoming the first sports person to endorse a commercial product. Number 7. In 1916, at the age of 42, he became the oldest player to hit an inside the park home run. Number 8. He starred as a sports hero in 1919 Spring Fever with Mo Howard and Shemp Howard of the Three Stooges. Number 9. He was appointed as a deputy of the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office in 1942 after he ran for office of sheriff and lost. And last but not least, number 10. A sporting goods store in downtown Pittsburgh was named after him and operated for 93 years before closing permanently in 2011.
Sometimes the grass looks greener because it's fake.
That's how you light a fire under their butts. You get them going with some inspiration. Too much talking, 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 too much talking.
Hey, Torch. Hey, Lisa. You miss me? Not much.
It is played everywhere, in parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields, by small boys and old men, raw amateurs and millionaire professionals. It is a leisurely game that demands blinding speed.
Welcome to the Country Club, Keith. Max Fried goes back to work. Miguel Rojas, the batter. He's got pretty good numbers against Max. First pitch on the way is up top, misses high, and out of the zone, it's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Rojas batting .294, the 1-0. Just missed the top of the zone. 2-0. The 2-0 count. Fried, 33 pitches in. Right down the pipe for a changeup, pulling the string, 2-1. Rojas batting .308 lifetime versus Max. 2 doubles, 2 walks. The 2-1 swing. That ball's pounded down the left field line, but foul. Do it again. Remember, Rojas started out with the Miami Marlins, so he's seen Max quite a bit. The 2-2 to Miguel. Standing on deck is Muncy, who also has good numbers against Max. The sweeper misses well outside, wide pitch out territory. Full count. Max had a few of these full counts. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Top of the third inning. The pitch on the way, down and in, ball 4. So Rojas works his way aboard, second inning in a row. They've gotten the leadoff runner on. Murphy's going to go out there and talk to Max. Probably go over a game plan with Muncy on, and Rojas. Miguel Rojas isn't really a guy that's you're worried too much about stealing these days. But he does have decent speed. He's now 35 years old. He still has 7 stolen bases this year, so you can't ignore him all the way. Max Muncy batting .225 with the .841 OPS. So he's got some pop. 15 home runs. Remember, he missed quite a bit of the year due to injury. First pitch on the way. 4-seam misses outside wide. It's 1-0. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Top of the third inning. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing! Chops it off his right behind him. Thought it got a piece of him at first, but I think he avoided the contact with the ball. 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing, chops it over to first. Olsen steps on the bag, throw over to second. It's a wide throw. Arcia made a great stab, tried to tag Rojas. Arcia wants them to challenge it or at least take a look at it. But Arcia really didn't have a great look because the ball was hammered over to Olsen. He bobbled it for a second, stepped on the bag, and then threw it to second. Arcia, by the time he turned around and got Rojas on the right leg, it appeared that his left leg had already stepped on the bag. That's close. I'd like to see it slowed down, but it doesn't look like they're going to challenge it. So from the first angle they showed, runner goes again, throw down to third, and now the Dodgers have the go-ahead run with one out standing at third, stolen base. Rojas got a really big jump. Murphy, decent throw, but I don't think he was going to have a chance of getting him. He got such a big jump. Probably fortunate the way Murphy opened up like that it didn't go into the outfield. So infield drawing in now. Kike Hernandez backing .215, lefty-righty, the pitch. Swing, pops it back foul. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Brings it. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Curveball went fishing for that one. So Max is a strike away from being able to get the infield back. Kike Hernandez, pretty good veteran hitter, though. He's going to be tough to strike out. Infield in. Here in the third inning. The 1-2 to Kike. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. Hot cheese right down the plate to away. Tell you what, Max Fried went an extra gear there. He's been throwing his 4-seams about 94-ish all night long. That one registered at 97 miles an hour. But you're not out of the woods yet because here comes Shohei Ohtani. First pitch on the way. Curveball in the dirt, and the run's going to score. Are you kidding me? After all that, a wild pitch will score the run. Rojas took off like a bat out of hell the moment he saw the ball hit the ground. Rojas manufactured that run on his own. Curveball didn't kick too far away, but Rojas was kind of bouncing. I think what really led to that was that the Braves have a shift on to the right side of the infield. So the third baseman, Gio Urshela, he's nowhere near the bag. So Rojas had a huge lead. The throw went to Max Fried at the plate. He had to bend backwards to make an attempt to make the catch. Braves training staff is out there checking on him. He slipped on the plate. Throw was never going to be caught by Max. He should have just let it go. Slipped for a bit. So they're out there checking on him. He says he's okay. That's one of those things when you see that, you're just like, well, there's no one else on base. Just let the damn ball roll away. Murphy was trying to get the play at the plate, but Rojas had such a big lead because, once again, the infield is back and to the right. When you got a runner at third, I mean, he was almost halfway down the line as soon as the pitch was thrown. So the 1-0 to Ohtani in the dirt. Four-seam fastball, 2-0. 2-0 count. Top of the third. Pitch. 95 below the knees, 3-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 3-0 to Ohtani. Outside wide ball 4. Pretty much a pitch around at that point. Not that Mookie Betts is a desirable batter to face, but Max does have good numbers on him. Saw a thing on Twitter this morning where they were arguing back and forth on whether or not Snooker made the right call. Intentionally walking Ohtani last night with Jimenez on the mound and Betts on deck. First pitch on the way to Mookie is a curveball down below the knees. It's 1-0. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. You've got the righty-lefty matchup. You get in an open base at first. 99 times out of 100, you're going to go ahead and walk them. Especially with Ohtani, it's probably more like 200 out of 100 times. The 1-0 changeup grabs the outer edge, 1-1. Just didn't work out. And it's one of those things. And I think people forget when Mookie got that base hit, he was down 0-2. Jimenez just gave him a pitch that he could handle. He never should have thrown it. The 1-1, 94 up top, right there for a strike, 1-2. Well, 1-2 count. LA 1, Braves nothing. Max Fried looks back at Ohtani, fires it over to first. They get him. That was close. They're going to call him safe. Just got under the tag. That was a pretty good move by Max. We know Max has an elite move, and that was darn near it. Ohtani grabbing the back end of the bag. A 1-2 count. Lefty, righty. Max comes set, looks at Ohtani, brings it. Curveball, caught, looking strike 3. Got him! That'll end the inning. Dodgers put one on the board off a wild pitch. We'll grab the bats. Top of the order coming to the plate.
You call it nagging. I call it listen to what I've said the first time.
5-2 Dodgers in the ninth. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets. It's the impossible dream revisited.
And Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air. Foul. Off first. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Bell, left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions. As Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions.
I be like, why these people staring at me? I be forgetting I'm fine.
When the National League dropped 4 of its less profitable teams, Johnson saw his chance. He established new clubs in Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington. Snapped up newly unemployed players, then began raiding active National League rosters. Lured by an average of $500 more per season, 111 National League players jumped to Ban Johnson's brand new American League, including the great pitchers Cy Young and Rube Waddell and the notorious John McGraw. The National League owners complained, threatened, mounted lawsuits, quarreled among themselves, but they could do nothing. Ban Johnson was not going to go away.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris II is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Yamamoto, 43 pitches in as we begin the bottom of the third. Braves trail 1-0. The 1-0. Swing. Hits it towards left. That ball is going to drop down for a base hit. We'll take it. A seeing eye single. Good old-fashioned Texas leaguer over the shortstop's head and in front of the left fielder. Your Atlanta Braves. 1 on. Nobody out. And the heart of the order coming to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Jorge Soler, who was caught looking his first time up, takes a mighty hack at the first pitch. Splitter in the dirt. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-righty. In the dirt. 1-1. Keith says Bob Gibson was the best pitcher he ever saw. Greg Maddux would be second. Never got a chance to see Bob Gibson. I did meet him. I've told that story before on here. One of the highlights of my life, just because my grandfather was a huge fan of his. The 1-1. Down and in. 2-1. And I was able to share the story with him. The 2-1 count. Runner at first. They're holding them on, and they're backing to the left in the infield, so a huge hole on the right side. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Chase that cutter down and away. Second time he's gone all out on a pitch down and in. Down below the zone. Remember last time it was a 2-2 count, and he was sitting on the soft stuff, and Yamamoto brought a fastball right down the heart of the plate. See what he does here. The 2-2 to Soler. Ozuna on deck. They set up high. The pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted into center field. Going back over the track. That ball's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Michael Harris flying around third, heading to home. He is out. Oh, my goodness. Like to see a replay. It was close, but a perfect relay. Soler ends up on second. One down. It looked like from the blind eye, I don't think you send him there because of the second and third nobody out, but I understand why Tui did it. Looks like they got him. I'd like to see a closer look, as here comes the closer look to it. Yeah, they got him just by a hair. I mean, just by a hair. Maybe if he does a swim move, but he probably can't touch the plate if he does a swim move. So you win some, you lose some on that one. I like the idea of going for as much as we've had the issues. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is belted down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. Just foul. 0-1. He is on a home run drought, Ozuna. Remember, at one point, he was neck and neck with Ohtani. Ohtani now has 48. Ozuna's still sitting at 37. Not to mention his RBIs. It's been a few weeks since he's had an RBI. Righty-righty matchup, the 0-1 to Ozuna. He grounded out in the first, his first time up, the pitch. 92 off the plate. 1-1. You can tell Smith wanted that call, but he has not been giving wide strikes so far. The problem with Jordan Baker, you can't bank on it. Sometimes he'll expand that zone, and that's the stuff that drives the batters nuts. The 1-1, up top misses, 2-1. The 2-1 count. Dodgers 1, Braves nothing. The infield is back and to the left. The 2-1, right down the pipe. Cutter, 2-2. They're in the 5th inning in New York. Washington still leads 1-0 over the Mets. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's hit over to third. It's going to be an easy 5-3 put out. Muncy to Freeman. Jorge had to stay put. 2 away. Once again, it'll be up to Matt Olson to see if he can knock in the tying run. Braves are putting ducks on the pond. They're just not scoring. Matt Olson walked his first time up. They definitely pitched around him. First pitch on the way, outside wide. Called for a questionable strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 brings it. Swing. That ball's hit on the ground. Right to second. Should be an easy 4-3 put out. Kike to Freddie, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves once again threaten, but can't get them across. We'll head to the 4th, trailing by 1.
I don't feel like you've done enough today to even get a participation trophy.
Riggins. He's going to go all the way, unless Blackwood can catch him, and he can't.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Clark caught it. Dwight Clark.
Only 12 seconds left to play third quarter. Here's Marcus Allen cutting back upfield, and Marcus Allen could be gone. 74 yards for Marcus Allen.
The quiet man of this football team, Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now. Here we go with 8 seconds to play. High drama here in the Super Bowl. But in the air, it's not the distance it is.
You know how I feel. I will be proud to lead you wonderful guys into battle anytime, anywhere.
Being alone isn't that bad. It's a great opportunity to get to know yourself and be comfortable with who you are.
I already love myself. I just want to French someone.
In 1903, weakened by their own squabbling, the National League owners sued for peace. Van Johnson had won. A new national agreement was negotiated. Now there would be 2 major leagues, separate but equal, honoring one another's contracts, both retaining the reserve clause that kept players bound to their owners for life. A 3-man national commission was appointed to settle disputes and see that the regulations were enforced. Power was supposed to be shared equally, but Van Johnson saw to it that he was really in charge. The players were not represented.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. Swung on and chopped foul off the plate by Hernandez. From Fried, it's 0-1. Dodgers 1, Braves nothing. Top of the fourth inning. The 0-1 to Hernandez. Outside, high and wide, 1-1. Teskar has 29 home runs, 89 RBI, and 824 OPS. He struck out in the first. Standing on deck is Freddie Freeman, the 1-1. Swing and chops it foul, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Time is called by Teskar. 2 Hernandez is in the lineup tonight, so do apologize if I accidentally say Kike or Teskar at the wrong time. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got it. 1 away. Murphy dropped the ball, but it was not a foul tip. It was just a swing and a miss. Not sure what happened over there in the Washington game, but they looked fired up. I looked over to the left on my other monitor, and they were showing a highlight, I guess from the previous inning, where the Nats got out of a jam, and the starting pitcher, Irvin, who we've seen before, he's a pretty nasty customer, he was doing the Tiger Woods pump heading to the dugout. First pitch on the way to Freeman is in the dirt for a ball. It's 1-0. Freddie walked his first time up. Lefty. Brings it. Swing. Fouls it back over the third base dugout of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Swung on and lifted into left field. If it's fair, it's trouble. Just foul. 1-2. Braves infield is back and shading a little to the right. The 1-2 swung on and lifted over to third. One hopper. Here comes Gio. He'll flip it over to Matt. 5-3 in your scorecard, 2 away. Two down. The infield will now shift over to the other side, back into the left with Will Smith, the batter. He's 0 for 1. The first pitch, curveball down below the knees. It's 0-1. 1-0, excuse me. The 1-0. Max brings it. Another curveball below the knees, 2-0. 2-0 count. Smith grounded into a double play his last time up. The 2-0 pitch right there at the knees just caught the bottom of the zone, 2-1. Max is at 63 pitches, so you do need to keep an eye on that. Rather high for the fourth inning. But if you can get out of this quickly, he'll be all right. The 2-1. Swing, pops it back foul, 2-2. LA 1, Atlanta nothing. The 2-2 from Fried. Curveball just misses outside. Full count. To my count, that is his fourth full count of the night. Excuse me, 6. That's the 6th. Excuse me. The payoff pitch. Swing. Pops it back. Foul. We'll do it again. LA 1, Atlanta nothing. The 3-2 swung on, chopped over towards Arcia. He's got it, fires it over to first. 6-3 on the putout, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Laureano, Murphy, and Arcia coming to the plate when we come back.
Who is Duffy?
Duffy is my muse, and he also runs the cult that I'm in.
Dad, how'd I do in my baseball game? You did okay. Just okay? Well, you seem a little scared of the ball. Yes, I am, huh? I'm very scared of the ball. Yeah, I see that. At one point, I actually tried to hide the ball. Yeah, but they caught you. Yeah, they were like, you gotta throw that back to us. So I had to give it to them. Yeah, I saw that. I'm just so scared it's gonna hit me. You can't be scared of the ball. Is that why you don't swing the bat? Wait, what? Is that why you don't swing the bat? I'm supposed to swing the bat? Yeah, why do you think they're throwing the ball? I didn't know why. What do you mean? I thought he just didn't like me. No, you're supposed to swing at the ball. Okay, well, next time I'll swing. I got on base, though. Yeah, by a walk, I guess. No, I ran as fast as I could. No, I'm saying you were walked by. No, Eddie's mom has it on video. I ran to the base. You could even. You got 4 balls. Right, that's when I got walked. I remember about that. And later you had a chance to steal second. Why didn't you? Steal second base? Yeah, why didn't you steal second? Like just take it so they can't stand on it? No, I'm saying steal second base. Like you can't just take the base because then they'll have to say the game's over. Never mind. You had a great game. Really? Because everyone's saying I'm the reason we lost. Oh, because when the guy hit the ball and I grabbed the ball and I put it in my pants. Yeah, why did you do that? 3 guys scored. I was trying to do a trick I saw on America's Got Talent. I was going to make the ball. You know, maybe you shouldn't play baseball. Yeah, I might quit. Really? Do you think your coach would get mad? No, not at all. No, you don't think? No, he actually suggested it.
You play to win the game.
The idea of going to the ballpark, say in 1900, was that the urban masses would get a taste of country pastoral air, that they would breathe in, that their lungs would expand by cheering. Baseball grew in the cities. It is an outgrowth of gambling, it's an outgrowth of crookedness, it's an outgrowth of drinking, it's a roistering, boisterous event. It is as wild as the Wild West.
Welcome back. Mo Laureano. Coming to the plate. Yamamoto 56 pitches in, so we keep an eye on that as we begin the bottom of the 4th. Braves trail 1-0. The first pitch. Swing. That ball's lifted into right field. That ball is going to get over the head of the right fielder. Smacks off the wall, and it rolls back into the outfield. And here comes Laureano. He's flying around second. He's got a leadoff triple, and that click-clacked. Let's go, Braves country. 103 miles an hour off the bat of Ramon Laureano. That ball was drilled off the bricks out there, smacking the Coors Light sign. I swear, Laureano running is still my favorite thing in sports right now. I mean, he just waves his arms, and I mean, it's like a little kid who's running for the first time. He's just happy to be out there, and just it's my favorite thing right now. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Infield drawn in for the Dodgers. Laureano. It's about halfway in. I wouldn't call it all the way in. They've actually moved back after that first pitch. The 0-1 swing fouls it back. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Righty. The pitch on the way to Murphy as Yamamoto brings it in the dirt, 1-2. With 2 strikes, they've moved the infield almost all the way back, so that's interesting. They're willing to concede the run, leading by a run. That's kind of more old school baseball. I mean, nowadays you don't hardly see that. All the analytics tell you to bring the infield in, but the 1-2 swung on and pops it back foul. We'll do it again. They're trying to get Murphy to either strike out or right there. They were trying to get him to pop it up in the infield. Yamamoto 61 pitches in, no outs here in the 4th. The 1-2. Whoa, high. 2-2. Curveball about eye high. Bent back over the plate, but it began on the inner cut. Two to Murphy. He's 1 for 1 on the day. A double to center. He smoked that one. The 2-2. They set up down and away. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Murph down on strikes. 1 away. So once again, the Braves have the tying run, or the first run of the game at third base with 1 out. See if they can get him home. Orlando Arcia to the plate. This is why I contend that Whit Merrifield is way too low in that order, because he is the type of batter that can fight one off. First pitch to Arcia, swung at his shoelaces. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it. Swing and a miss again. 0-2. I mean, if he's going to keep swinging at that splitter down around his shoelaces, I don't know why you throw him anything else. It's an 0-2 count. Laureano at third, 1 out. I mean, we're hoping for the same thing that got the Dodgers run home to a wild pitch or something here. Yamamoto comes set. They set up outside, down and away again. The 0-2 in the dirt. Good block by Smith. The infield is now drawn in, so they're playing games back and forth, up and down with the infield. All Arcia's got to do is lift it, and it's a run. The 1-2. High and inside, 2-2. Might have been a setup pitch, four-seam fastball. Busted him back. Runner at third, 1 out. The 2-2. Brings it. Inside ball 3-2. Standing on deck is Gio Urshela. See how committed Yamamoto may be to this. He might be willing to walk Arcia to set up the double play. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chops it foul. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Dodgers 1. Bottom of the 4th inning. The payoff pitch. They set up outside after they tap the glove in. The pitch, swing. That ball's chopped over to short. Rojas has it. And Arcia lightly jogging down the first base line. No threat at all. So it's a 6-3 put out, 2 down. You just can't convince me that Arcia needs to be batting that high in the order. 2 down, and it'll be up to Gio Urshela. Arcia once again slamming gloves and doing the whole dramatic thing in the dugout. But, I mean, I've said it before, but that's just a sign of a loser. Guys that do that, they want you to know that they care about not being successful, but they don't do anything different to change it. They're going to go out there and talk to Yamamoto, just an infield visit. The coach has stayed on the bench. We've seen him do that more this year than any other year, where he's slamming the bat. That time he's slamming gloves in the dugout. I mean, it's just, that shtick has gotten really old in Braves country. Gio Urshela comes to the plate. 2 down. He's 0 for 1. The first pitch misses high, 1-0. Gio struck out swinging his first time up. Whit Merrifield standing on deck. The 1-0 from Yamamoto. Swing. That ball's lifted over to short. It's going to be L6 in your scorecard. That'll end the inning. So the Braves put one on again. Can't get him in. Slam the bat, Arcia. That'll help.
Hey, I know y'all heard of fear of missing out, but I think I have the exact opposite. I call it fear of being included.
Oh, I could never take that long to do my makeup. I just do my makeup in 10 minutes and I go. I know, Karen. I know. I can tell.
So, Dad, you've been married for a while. What are the secrets?
You need to learn to read the signs.
The signs?
Yeah. Women have 5 deadly terms they use.
Deadly terms.
Number 1, fine. It's not fine. She's basically just ending the argument. She thinks she's won, and you might as well move on from that.
Okay.
Number 2, nothing. That definitely means something. No one knows what it is, but just be afraid.
All right.
Number 3, go ahead. Yeah, don't do that. She's not giving you permission. She's basically daring you to do it. Don't do it. Number 4, whatever. That's basically a woman's way of saying screw you. Number 5, that's okay. Yeah, it's not okay, and if you do it, you're going to pay later. So,
okay.
You know what I mean?
I'll keep those in mind then. So.
Hey, wait a minute. A bonus word. Wow. That's not a compliment like I first thought. That's actually her way of saying she didn't realize that someone could be so stupid.
Just outside the old Huntington Avenue ballpark, home of the Boston Pilgrims of the New American League, stood the Third Base Saloon, so called because it was the fans' last stop on the way home. Its owner was the bartender, Mac Magee, known as Nuff Said, because he was the final arbiter of all barroom disputes. His customers, Irish immigrants mostly, called themselves the Royal Rooters and considered themselves the most loyal of all Boston fans, though their loyalty was actually comparatively new. They had been National League fans until the National Leaguers raised ticket prices 2 years earlier.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Max Fried is a curveball up high. 1-0. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Fired the 4-seamer to Tommy Edman, who's 0 for 1 with the ground out. 1-1. Max Fried, his 70th pitch of the night. 4-seamer misses inside 2-1. Yamamoto, by the way, he is at 72 pitches. The 2-1 count. Swing rifled into right field. That ball's down for a base hit. It's going to go into the stands, and it's a leadoff double. Another leadoff double for the L.A. Dodgers. That's probably best case scenario, honestly. He does the little weird L.A. sachet. When he gets to second, there's one on, nobody out. If that ball had hit the railing just a couple inches lower and rattled around, Edman's probably standing on third, to be honest. Fried looks at Edman, brings the pitch. 93, right there at the knees. Blown call by home plate umpire Jordan Baker. It's 1-0. Rojas walked, came around to score after stealing third with these, and then came on in a wild pitch. The 1-0 from Fried. Brings it. Swing blasted. Down the left field line. Just foul. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Runner at second. 1 out. Braves infield is backing to the left. The pitch right there at the knees. That time he got the call correct. 1-2. Edman, he is a threat to steal, so you got to keep an eye on him. The 1-2. Fried spins around. That'll count as a move. He did not throw the ball to second. He held on to it, but if Whit Merrifield sneaks in behind him from the right side, they might get him. The 1-2. Swung on, laced down the line. We'll do it again. Ball went foul into the tarps over there on the left-hand side. Nats are still leading the Mets 1-0. They're already in the 7th inning. That game is moving along quickly. The 1-2. Down and in, 2-2. The 2-1-2 count. You don't want to keep nibbling. Max Muncy stands on deck. Rojas walked his first time up the 2-2. Swing. That ball's dropped into right field. That'll be a run. The Braves trail 2-0. Rojas lost his balance, and so he'll stay at first. He does the LA sachet when he gets to the base. Fisted it over the first base side, well above the head of Matt Olson. When he slipped and fell, there was no way he was going to turn that into 2. But Edmonds scored with no trouble at all. And the Dodgers have taken a 2-0 lead. First pitch on the way to Muncy is a sweeper right there. Belt high, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty. Hit him in the back. Good job, Max. Now he's got runners on first and second, nobody out, and hit him with a sweeper. That sweeper has not been sweeping. They keep dialing it up, but that is about the 5th time that he has thrown the curves, the sweeper, and it has landed in that spot. The other times it's been against a right-handed batter, so it's been no harm, no foul. But he does not have control of that pitch, and Murphy keeps dialing it up. Not that it's Murphy's fault, but at some point you got to change what you're doing. Brady is going to go out there and talk to him real quick. Tomorrow night, the Braves will be in Cincinnati. Williamson, Junis, and Aguilar are the pitchers due up for the Reds in that series. 6:40, 6:40, and 1:10 are the first pitches. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They do not have anyone designated for tomorrow. Schwellenbach and Sale will end the series. We'll have all the games right here on Braves Country Radio, but the point is, as Max goes back to work, first pitch on the way to Kike Hernandez is a bender at the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. It seems like the curveball hasn't been as wild, but man, every time he's thrown that sweeper, he just doesn't have the grip. Something's wrong. The 0-1. Swung on, swatted back, foul, four-seam fastball. He was nowhere near his spot. Murph was set up inside, and that ball got to the outer edge of the plate. But the point being, with no one being scheduled yet, they could go Grant Holmes or they could call someone up. Could be a number of options of guys that are currently not on the roster. The 0-2, swung on, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. LA 2, Braves nothing. Still just here in the top of the 5th inning. The 0-2 from Max. Brings it. Swung on, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Like Jake Irvin in Washington, by the way, he's still in the game in the 7th inning. Looks like he's only at 82 pitches. Which is kind of key because that Washington bullpen, they've done a number on us, but they haven't been great this year. The 0-2, swing, lifts it high into right field. Drifting back on the warning track is Soler. He'll make the catch, but the runner will tag up from second to third. Runner at first will stay put. So Rojas now just 90 feet away once again. One away. You do set up the double play, but now you've got Shohei Ohtani coming to the plate. Big spot here in the ball game. Ohtani Lefty-lefty matchup. Max about to throw his 85th pitch in just 5 innings. First one to Ohtani, swung on, chops it over to short. Arcia to Merrifield, over to first, not going to be in time, and the Dodgers lead it 3-0. Ohtani will get an RBI. If they're sitting in a traditional double play defense, that's going to be a 6-4 twin killing, 6-4-3 twin killing. But Arcia had a ways to go, and by the time he tossed it over there to Merrifield, Merrifield's going off his back foot, heading towards the pitcher's mound. He had no shot of getting Ohtani down the line. So 3-0 your score. First pitch on the way to Mookie Betts is a four-seam fastball on the outer edge. It's 0-1. If you're watching it on Braves Valley, they had runners on the corners, but there is no one at third. They've cleaned it up now. The 0-1. They throw it over to first. Man, that was close. Second time he's almost caught Ohtani with his hand in the cookie jar. Runner at first, 2 outs. Mookie 0 for 2. Max, slow kick, brings it. Fouls it straight back. 0-2. Teoscar Hernandez stands on deck. Max Fried would like to see him in the 6th and not in the 5th. Ohtani could be on the go with 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2, he goes. Swing, that ball's belted down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. And it smacks up against the screen, just foul. The way it ricocheted back into the outfield, it almost gave someone the impression it might have hit the pole, but it missed the pole by about 5 feet and smacked the screen, the protective screening down the line. The 0-2 count. Max looks over at Ohtani, lifts the leg, brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. That'll end the inning. Braves trail by 3, but they've gotten hits all night long. They just got to string them together and get some runs. We'll be back in a flash. Merrifield in the top of the order due up.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm really down.
Why is that? About the doctor's diagnosis?
Yeah, 6 months left. I mean, it's not much.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I know. Get married.
Why? I mean, does that make me live longer?
No, but it'll make it seem like forever.
I think we really need to be in front of a television set. You take TV out of this relationship, it is just torture.
Man, the way that so many of y'all get on this app every single day and clock in, punching your time card, like it is your duty to comment on every single video that you come across, just looking for an argument. Just begging everybody, please argue with me. You just need somebody to talk to, huh? I mean, is that it? What's going on at home, babe? I'm not offering. Don't call me. Circling back to the therapy option, let's start there. You need help. This behavior isn't normal. Let's take a break from the tic-tac videos and unpack those mommy issues.
They're talking good about you. You want to read that tweeter machine, man. Everybody's getting on that tweeter machine. You want to read it. My tweeter machine is turned off.
On October 1st, 1903, Nuffset and his Royal Rooters were among the first to pass through the turnstiles to see the Boston Pilgrims take on the Pittsburgh Pirates in the very first championship series between the two leagues. It would be a best-of-9 game contest. Realizing that this was a golden opportunity to prove the superiority of his new league, Van Johnson ordered the Boston owner to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had been favored to win, but Boston was aided by a series of disasters that undercut the Pirates. One pitcher had been injured. Their star shortstop, Honus Wagner, was playing hurt. And just as the series got underway, Ed Doheny, another pitcher, suffered a mental breakdown and was sent to an asylum.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. To the dork that put the ugly message up, first of all, he has his name's been pronounced a few different ways depending on what stop he's in. So that's number one. Is the first pitch on the way to Phillips is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 misses high, 1-1. A 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. But now that I know that it bothers you, it's going to be T.O. Oscar going on forward. The 2-2 count. Whit Merrifield, the batter. Bottom of the fifth. Righty-righty matchup. Phillips in for Yamamoto. The 2-2. Misses just outside wide, 3-2. Our monitor screwed up, so I didn't get the first couple of pitches at reset. It does that with this app from time to time. The full count. Righty-righty brings it. Swing! That ball's lifted into right field. Lazy fly ball. Betts makes the catch. 1 away. One down. So already into the Dodgers bullpen. Top of the order. Michael Harris II comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Harris walking a single. Pitch up top, 97 miles an hour, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch from Phillips. Swing. Fouls it straight back. We'll do it again. The 0-2. Misses high. 1-2. LA 3, Braves nothing. Braves already took the first 2 games of this series, so they lead it 2-1, trying to win the series outright. Sweeper misses outside wide, 2-2. Washington still leads the Mets in the 8th, 1-0. The 2-2. Swing! That ball's hit hard on the ground. Over to Kike. Flips it over to Freddie. 4-3 put out. 2 away. Two down. Braves still have the advantage in the schedule when it's all said and done, but you want to start taking advantage of it, especially starting tomorrow night. 3 in Cincinnati, 3 in Miami. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike by Soler. It's 0-1. We knew this was the last part of the tough, and then we'll be at home for the Mets series and the Royal series. The 0-1 swung on, pop back foul, 0-2. The Mets will have a 3-game series with Washington, and then beginning Thursday, it's a 4-game series against the Phillies. All those games are in New York. The 0-2 swung on, pops it up, high in the sky. That'll be a lazy fly ball into right field, and that'll end the inning. F9 your scorecard. We head to the 6th, trailing by just 3. Middle of the order, due up for the Dodgers.
I'm poor,
Yeah, you are.
Armchair.
Presents the world's first star in your own radio commercial. Okay, guys, whenever you hear this sound, insert your name.
Hi there.
Braves country.
Sorry I'm late. Sometimes there just aren't enough hours in the day to be a neurosurgeon and a swimwear model. Oh, am I thirsty? How about it?
Braves country.
Got anything tall and cool? Oh, no.
Braves country.
You are so thoughtful. But of course,
Braves country.
the first choice for every occasion. You know, I have a confession to make. If I ever had a son, I'd want to name him
Braves country.
Oh.
Braves country.
Come here. Now.
Braves country. Braves country. Braves country.
Well, you did very well in your first commercial.
Braves country.
Have a
Braves country.
You've earned it.
Armchair.
Do you ever miss the six-pack when you blow up between fights?
I'd rather be fat and happy than ripped. And like these people who are ripped all year round aren't happy. I'm not arsed. I don't care what they say. This six-pack's sound. I look great, but I'd rather be fat and happy, lad.
I think those Boston fans actually won that series for the Pilgrims. We beat them 3 out of the first 4 games, and then they'd start singing that damn Tessie song. You could hardly play ball. They were singing Tessie so damn loud. Like when Honus Wagner came to bat, they'd sing, Honus, why do you hit so badly?
The Boston Americans made it 5 victories out of 8 games played, which gives them a clear title to the highest honor ever achieved in baseball, Boston Globe.
The games proved so popular that the two leagues decided to hold a championship series every year. A team from Boston had beaten a team from Pittsburgh just 650 miles away, but the owners insisted on calling it the World Series.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Freed. Swung on, chopped over to third. It's a 5-3 put out. Teo Oscar down, 1 away. 1 down. That'll bring up Freddie Freeman to the plate. First pitch on the way to Freddie is in the dirt for a ball. It's 1-0. We're expecting Ozzie Albies to be back possibly as early as this weekend. I would think they're going to want to get him a few games in before that Mets series, the 1-0. Swatted back foul, 1-1. In theory, he could come back in the Cincinnati series, but if they do decide to give him a stint, even if it's a 1 game on a rehab assignment, you just figure he's not going to be able to get there in time. The 1-1. Outside wide, 2-1. If they decide they're not going to do that, that could be a totally different situation. 2-1 to Freddie. Lefty-lefty matchup in the dirt. 3-1. One down, the 3-1 count to Freddie. Pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped towards the first base dugout. Full count. The full count to Freeman. The pitch. Caught, looking strike 3. Freddie tried to work his way down to the first base line, but that ball hit the top of the zone. It was a bender that just grabbed the top of the zone. Freddie doesn't like it, but that absolutely hit the top of the zone. It's a good frame by Sean Murphy as well, but the ball actually clipped the very top. He framed it just below it. Nonetheless, with 2 strikes, you got to swing the bat. First pitch on the way to Smith. Will Smith, 0 for 2, takes the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, pops it up. High in the sky. Who wants it? Soler calls off Merrifield, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Still a lot of baseball left and only trailing by 3.
Mom. What? What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
An enzyme? I don't know.
You can't hear an enzyme.
What do you mean you can't hear an enzyme? So you can't hear an enzyme, but you can hear a hormone? Oh my God, you're such an idiot.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
This one time, a boyfriend cheated on me, and I broke up with him on our way home. And while we were driving, he got so mad at me that he took my glasses off my face and threw them out the window. Was just like, all right, if you don't want to see me, then you don't need to see anyone. Good luck finding someone better, and also your way home. You, John.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
The Cubs' pitching mainstay was an Indiana farm boy, Mordecai Peter Centennial Brown, better known as Three Finger Brown, because of a boyhood accident with a feed cutter that destroyed most of his right index finger, paralyzed his little finger, and gave him a devastating curveball. Brown won 20 or more games, 6 years in a row.
Blake Trinan will be the second pitcher coming on. He comes in with a 2.21 ERA. Got news on Ozzie Albies and other things Braves related. It appears that the plan right now is for Ozzie Albies to head to AAA Gwinnett and play Tuesday and Wednesday. First pitch on the way is a sweeper outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. And he could be with the Braves of Miami by Friday. It's not likely to play that Thursday game because it's a day game. It's a quick turnaround. The 1-0 swung on, pops it up high in the sky. Coming over, making the easy catches, Betts, one away. They've also announced that unless he's needed in this game, it will indeed be Grant Holmes starting the opener tomorrow. Now, how many innings he can give you, that's a different story because he hasn't been stretched out in quite some time. So probably more of a bullpen game. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. What you could do, the 0-1, out and away, 1-1. You could maneuver the roster to add an extra bullpen piece after Tuesday's game. 1-1 swing, pops it back foul, 1-2. And meaning that if you have to use a couple of guys in long innings on Tuesday, the 1-2, swing, pops it up into center field, coming in, making the running catches, Edman, quickly 2 down. Because of the expanded rosters in September, you can move around a couple of guys. You can have 28 pitchers or 28 players, 14 pitchers available each day. Ramon Laureano comes to the plate. He tripled to lead off the inning his last time up. Nobody could get him home. First pitch on the way to Ramon. Down below the knees, 96-mile-an-hour sinker. It's 1-0. So I would think, they haven't announced it, but I would think that what's going to happen with Ozzie coming back and playing second, Whit Merrifield probably takes over third, the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Whit Merrifield has played all over the infield in his career. And they may do kind of a similar situation with the expanded bench, is that you would have him in the starting lineup, and then when you get later in the game, you would probably they'd probably just switch Merrifield over to second, let Gio play third, because you want to kind of ease Ozzie back in and not risk getting banged up. The 1-1 swing, that ball swatted down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. Just foul. Took a left turn at Albuquerque just before it got to the foul pole. He blasted that one. 1-2. Braves trail 3-0. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. We started this series. We were looking at a split. Of course, now we're hoping to take 3 out of 4, but split with the Dodgers is not the worst thing in the world at this time of the year, the 2-2. Caught looking, strike 3. My God, you got to swing the bat. That'll end the inning. Braves 3 up, 3 down once again. It's becoming a theme in the middle innings. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
How much is the rent for this beautiful apartment?
Ma'am, you're in the liquor store.
Quick story about Marcus Mariota. You know, people ask me about him all the time, and he's such a great player, but his best attribute is how quick-witted he is. People don't know this, but his freshman year, he worked at a grocery store in town to kind of pay the extra bills. And he was at the register one day, and this great big woman comes in, and she said, "I'd like to buy a half a head of lettuce." And he kind of looked at her funny, said, "We don't sell half heads, only whole heads." And she got all mad. So he walked into the back to ask the manager what he should do, and he said, "Hey, I got this great big fat woman out here that wants to buy a half a head of lettuce. What should I do?" And he didn't know it, but the woman had followed him back there. So he looks over his shoulder, and he sees her standing there, and he said, "And this lady wants to buy the other half." So the manager told him afterwards, the manager said, that was impressive. I can't believe you could think that quickly on your feet. And he goes, "That was nothing. I'm used to dealing with stuff like that." He goes, "I'm from Honolulu. There's 2 things we have in Honolulu. It's great football and fat women." And the manager said, "My wife's from Honolulu." And he said, "Well, what position does she play?"
Armchair.
In the 1906 World Series, the Cubs were heavily favored to beat their crosstown rivals, the Chicago White Sox, called the Hitless Wonders because the team averaged just .230 and hit only 7 home runs all season. But no one had counted on the superb pitching of White Sox ace Ed Walsh, master of the spitball.
Big Ed Walsh? Oh, brother. You talk about spitballs. I think that the ball disintegrated and got back together when the catcher got hold of it. I think when it went past the plate, it was just spit going by.
Ed Walsh totally overpowered the Cubs. He pitched a masterful 2-hit shutout to win the 3rd game and then went on to win the 5th. The Hitless Wonders had won the World Series.
Thank you for the donation, Keith. Daysball Hernandez will come in as Max Fried's night is over. Max Fried, all in all, not a terrible night at all. I mean, 7 strikeouts through 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. The 3 walks you would have liked to have not had. First pitch on the way, 97 right down the pipe to Edman. It's 0-1. Stumbled across a pretty cool number here in the break as the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Matt Olson has played his 477th consecutive game as a first baseman. And the reason why that number is special, I know everyone's going to try to compare it to Cal Ripken. The 0-2, swung on, pops it up into shallow center field, coming over, making the basket catch over his shoulders. Orlando Arcia, 1 away. That ties Pete Rose for the longest streak of games played at first base in the last 80 years. That will tie. That ain't nothing. I mean that is the last 80 years. Wow. Because you got to think about it. Before, the only one that's done it longer would be, obviously, is the 1-0. Swung on, rifle back foul, got a piece of the mask of Murphy. Seems to be okay, 1-1. They're alluding to the fact the last first baseman to do that would, of course, be the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. I'm a little surprised that someone at first, because it's not like that's one of the more grueling positions where you get a lot of injuries. That's why it was always so remarkable what Cal Ripken did at short and later at third. The 1-1 Bender misses down and away, 2-1. The 2-1 count. Good to see you, BA. Misses high, 3-1. One down here in the top of the seventh. The 3-1 pitch, right there. 95, 3-2. Braves trail by just 3. We're here in the 7th inning. Still 3 more at bats. And remember, the Dodgers have already gone into their bullpen pretty early in this game, so may pay dividends. The payoff pitch, up high, misses, ball 4. Not sure why they went with the slider there with the payoff pitch, because his fastball had been humming, but that's what was dialed up, and we got 1 on, 1 out. Coming to the plate now is Max Muncy. Muncy's 0 for 1. First pitch, swatted back foul. Will it stay in play? Giving chases Gio. That'll just get out of reach a few rows back past the third base dugout. It's 0-1. Muncy was hit by a pitch his last time up. Grounded out to first his first time up. The 0-1. The Mets have tied that game up in Washington, by the way. They're in the 9th. It's 1-1. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Mets have brought in Edwin Diaz to try to set themselves up for success in the bottom of the inning. 2-1 count to Muncy. Runner at first, 1 out. The pitch, swing and a miss, slider inside, 2-2. Tomorrow night's game a little earlier if you're working out your calendar is the 2-2. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. We'll do it again. 6:40 first pitch. Tuesday night and Wednesday night in Cincinnati, 6:40 first pitch. And then Thursday is a 1:10. The 2-2. Down and away, 3-2. So full count later in the week. The Miami series. The payoff pitch, inside, ball 4. Hernandez walks another one. The 2 on, 1 out. Trouble of brewing here in the top of the 7th. Miami keeps changing their start times. It really is wild. They are back to doing 7:10 on Friday night. They had been doing 6:40 for years, and then this year I've noticed the time has changed. It's gone back and forth. I don't know what the reasoning is, but Friday night 7:10 first pitch, Saturday afternoon 4:10 first pitch, and then 1:40 on Sunday. We'll have all the games from now till Saturday here, right here on Braves Country. We'll put the chat up on Cover Country Radio YouTube for the Sunday Fun Day chat. Gavin Lux now the batter. Hernandez be his 17th pitch of the inning. First pitch, slider misses well outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. 96 misses high to Lux, 2-0. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but Ronald Acuna Jr.'s brother is now playing for the Mets. He's been playing at second base and shortstop. He's at shortstop tonight. Francisco Lindor is fighting an injury. The 2 up top, 2-1. Said back pains. I haven't seen an update on that, but the 2-1. Misses high, 3-1. So Hernandez is all over the place. And standing on deck. You can't make this up. Shohei Ohtani. The 3-1. Nowhere near the zone, ball 4. I mean, good Lord. He has walked the bases loaded after the first fly out. And Brian Snitker sitting there. You're going to let him pitch to Shohei Ohtani. You're kind of waving the red flag. White flag, excuse me. Murphy's going out there. I don't know if he's trying to buy time or plead for help. Aaron Butler is warmed up in the bullpen. I know that's not everyone's ideal pitcher, but you got to take Daysbell out. He's going to get pounded. He can't find the zone. They should have brought Bummer in, the hitter before, give him a fighting chance. Aaron Bummer's going to come out of the pen and see if he can keep this game where it's at. Shohei Ohtani, bases loaded, and Aaron Bummer coming to the plate. That's not what you want.
Why is it so hard to solve a murder in West Virginia? There's no dental records and all the DNA's the same.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He's giving them the business.
Now Don Mattingly, an emerging star. Mattingly last year was called up by the Yankees from Columbus the day Bobby Mercer retired. He'd been with him prior to that, but had been sent out. And he's not only won a spot on the roster, he's in the lineup, he's hitting third, and he's leading the league at .338. That's drilled to the gap in right center field, and it is off the fence. Randolph was running all the way, so he is being waved in. Whitaker's throwing to Parrish is not in time on a double by Mattingly.
First game I went to, May 30th, 1956, Yankee Stadium. We drove from Long Beach, Long Island to the Bronx. Almost took 2 hours. And as we came up into the Bronx and Jerome Avenue, my dad said, there it is. And, you know, I'd seen games before, but on TV, and there it was, and it like ate up the Bronx. It was the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life, and it had that great roof, that green copper roof, and the breeze was just blowing all those pennants in the roof, you know, just going like that, telling you which way the wind was blowing, and I had my glove and everything, and I sat like in between third base and home plate, like real close.
Welcome back. Shohei Ohtani digs in. Lefty-lefty matchup is Bummer looking for that ground ball double play. First pitch swung on, hits it over to Merrifield. Merrifield comes home. Bad throw. That'll be a run, 4-0 your score. Thought he was going to try to pull the double play. And you do something like that, what you're really asking for is a big inning. I get the theory behind it, but if you don't have the infield drawn in, you're just not getting Rojas. I don't even know why Rojas slid. That was strange in itself. He should have ran right through the plate, but he did, and regardless, they're looking at it, but he's safe. The ball was short-hopped. If it's not short-hopped, Murphy was standing on the plate. He would have got him because Rojas slid. First pitch on the way to Betts is up and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 4-0 your score. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled straight back. 1-1. One count. Bummer kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 1-2. If you're not going to pull the infield in, and I get why they didn't with Shohei Ohtani being the batter, then I think you just got to make sure that you get an out there if you're Whitfield. Merrifield. I mixed his name together. Whit Merrifield. 1-2's well inside. 2-2. 2-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's laced down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. Bounces into the seats. Just foul. 2-2. There's a fan down there that caught it barehanded. He's shaking his hand. 2-2 count. Bummer brings it. Swing. Chops it foul. Got a piece of Mookie, but he appears to be okay. Washington did not score, so they're heading to the bottom of the ninth, tied in New York. Mets have a chance to gain the game on the Braves. The 2-2. Swung on, lifted into center field. Coming over, making the catch is Harris. He'll throw it in the infield, but it'll be an easy run, and it's 5-0 Los Angeles. So once again, had Merrifield just taken any of those outs, there were a couple of easy outs right there, you'd be looking at a 4-0 game heading to the seventh. Now it's 5-0, and they're still batting. And that should be something they were going over while they were waiting for Bummer to warm up. But once again, if the infield's not in, you can't go home with speed like that at third. First pitch on the way to Hernandez is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Bummer brings it. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's into the outfield. That's going to be another run. It's 6-0 Los Angeles as the ball comes into the infield. And that decision by Merrifield to come home has cost the Braves 2 extra runs. Take a look at the scoreboard real quick. They're still tied in New York in the ninth, so there's still hope there. Brewers lead the Phillies 3-1. Not that those scores matter for the Braves anymore. Diamondbacks are in Colorado. We need the Rockies to prevail there. Colorado trails 2-0. And the Padres host the Astros early part of this week. That game starts at 9:40. The 1-0 from Bummer. Steps off the mound. Chasing Ohtani back to second. 6-0 your score. The pitch. 81 up top. 1-1. The 1-1. Sweeper below the knees. 2-1. 2-1 count. Pitch to Freddie. Inside ball 3, 3-1. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The 3-1 swing lifts it down the left field line. Chasing at the wall, over the wall. It's a 3-run home run, and Freddie Freeman has made it 9-0. Once again, that one, and I still think you got to put that on the coaching staff, because they had Merrifield essentially, they were playing halfway in but a little back. If you're going to do that, you got to go to first, maybe try a double play. They weren't going to get Ohtani on the double play. But the other thing, if you're not watching the game and seeing the play up live, Merrifield was off balanced because he was going to his side to make the play. And so he's going to his side. There's no way you're throwing out the runner at the plate. They are about to go into extra innings in New York, so maybe the Washington Nationals can prevail. The 0-1 pitch to Smith is swung on and lifted to center field, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Dodgers have taken a 9-0 lead. Come on, Nationals. You got to help us out here in Braves country. Get up and stretch, Braves country. The 7th inning stretch.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the find me something to scratch the jack. I don't care. I have to get back going.
And Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me
Back to Braves Country Baseball. We're going to keep an eye on the Mets game. As they are in extra innings. I'm half tempted to put that game on right now. Not sure what the thought process would be, everyone watching, but the Nationals are batting in the top of the 10th. First pitch on the way after the 1-0. Sean Murphy's a swing and a miss strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Nationals did get the runner over to third, and there's 1 out. It's either that or I can just leave the Braves going right there and I can call the Nationals game. Y'all can keep an eye on the Braves. It might be the easiest way to do it. Nationals have a runner on third, 1 out, top of the 10th inning. Reed Garrett is the pitcher. So if you're just tuning in, we are doing the play-by-play of Mets Nationals while we keep it on the Braves game for you. As the Braves trail 9-0 here in the 7th. Once the game in New York ends, we'll go back to the play-by-play over there. But it just seems like that's a lot more interesting and important right now. Looks like Carlos Ruiz is going to be the batter there for the Nationals. Runner at third, 1 out. Garrett brings the first pitch, 86 miles an hour outside wide. It's 1-0. Garrett brings the 1-0 pitch right there at the knees. Look like the changeup. 1-1. So 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Misses with the changeup down again, trying to get him to chase. Mets 1, Nationals 1, top of the 10th inning. Righty-lefty matchup. Ruiz, by the way, has singled to left in the third. He's 1 for 3. Garrett steps off the mound. It is interesting that they didn't leave Diaz back out there for the second inning. They had him up in the 9th, and they just got the 1 inning out of him. The 2-1 swatted down the right field line. 2-2. Standing on deck is Young for the Nationals. Once again, we're calling the Nationals game, keeping the Braves game on the screen for you. The 2-2. Down below the knees, 100 miles an hour. Full count. Young, the center fielder, on deck. The number 8 hitter. Nunez, the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, in the hole. The payoff pitch from Garrett to Ruiz. They set up top. Outside, swung on, hit back to right up the middle. Acuna makes the play, flips it over to first. 6-3 put out. 2 away. Ruiz chased ball 4. That pitch was out of the zone, and he just slapped at it trying to get it through the infield. Weakly hit ground ball with the infield in. The runner at third had no chance. So that'll leave it up to Young to try to get a run home. First pitch on the way, swung on, ripped up the middle. Acuna's got it, flips it over to first. 6-3 put out, and that's going to end the inning for the Nationals and the Mets. Back to the Braves game. The Braves have a runner on first, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch swung on by Urshela is a soft line drive to short. 2 down. Two down. Here in Atlanta. 9-0 your score. Bottom of the 7th inning. Kevin Biggio's the batter. So he comes in for Merrifield, trailing 9-0. Might as well give him some time off with the foot injury. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball outside wide. It's 1-0. Biggio batting 194 on the year. Of course, he came over from the Dodgers. They DFA'd him after getting him from Toronto. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 93, right by him, 1-1. The son of Hall of Famer Craig Biggio. Of course, he's one of the Hall of Famers that people have issue with. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. The entire Houston Astros team at that time, known as the Killer Bees, they are directly linked to PEDs. They were never busted, so they've gotten voted in. The 1-2 down and away. Did he go around? He did. Strike three. Well, that'll be an easy one for Biggio. Going to take a really quick break. The Mets are coming back, and we will catch it up here in a second. The Mets and Nationals are tied at 1 in the 10th. And it looks like with the ghost runner at second, the Nationals are going to intentionally walk Taylor, the center fielder, to get to Alvarez, which may sound strange, but they're trying to set up the double play. Because the runner at first really doesn't matter. First pitch on the way from Barnes to Alvarez is way outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Alvarez 0 for 3 on the night, batting .231. But he's had a flair for the dramatics this season. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 96 up top. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pushing buttons, we get Ozzie back, it looks like Friday. And Austin will probably be back. He may not be back the very first week of October, but if the Braves can get in the second round, we might see him there. 1-1 from Barnes. Kicks and fires. Swing, pops it back foul. 1-2. Luke Jackson's going to come on. Might as well for the Braves. As you're seeing them come back from break. We're in New York calling that game right now. Bottom of the 10th. Runners on first and second. The 1-2. Swung on, blasted. High and deep into right field. Going back on the track, making the catch in right field. But that's going to move the runner from second to third. Harrison Bader with good speed now is at third base, and there's just one out. So you do have the double play set up, but I would tend to think Tyrone Taylor's got good speed at first. He's probably going to try to steal second to eliminate the force out, the double play. Coming to the plate now is Starling Marte. He's going to they're going to have a quick chat out there at the mound. Meanwhile, Luke Jackson did get the first out of the inning. Braves trailed 9-0. That's why we're doing a simulcast of the Nationals Mets game. If the Mets win, they'll take a 1-game lead with about 2 weeks to play. Braves still have it all in their hands. You got to realize the Mets are coming to Atlanta for 3. So if you win that series, you're going to have the tiebreaker on the Mets. So any tie would go to you in a flat-footed tie. There's no longer a play-in game at the end of the season like baseball had for years. First pitch on the way to Marte. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Pitch at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. In the dirt. 1-1. Standing on deck is Iglesias. In the hole is Acuna. That is Ronald's brother. The infield is about halfway in, so still in theory in double play territory. The 1-1 down and away, 2-1. Trying to get him to chase his changeup, but he's not coming anywhere near the plate. Looks like Luke Jackson had a 1-2-3 inning. The 2-1 misses down and in, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch from Barnes to Marte. Swing! That ball's belted into left field, and that'll end the game. Mets win it 2-1. The Braves are a half game back in the wild card race. They are in the middle of the 8th, so we'll stay here. I'm trying to look up to see. Looks like Francisco Lindor's MRI came back clean. Says he could miss anywhere between 3 to 5 days. Depends on how his back reacts. So it's a big blow to the Mets, but if they have him back by the Braves series, it'll be a big lift. Looking at, we're sitting here on a Monday. In theory, I guess he's hoping to be back in time at the beginning of the Philly series, but it sounds more like he's going to be shooting for the end of the weekend. And I don't see any official diagnosis. It just says back. So I don't know if it's spasms or what the deal is. I heard it on a podcast today when I was at work, and they never clarified. But anyways, it's his back, and he's hoping to be back in the next 3 to 5 days. Says it's going to be manageable. That's all I got on it. I don't know if anyone else in the chat knows more, but that's what we're looking at. And there's nothing else that has really jumped off. So the Mets win their game. The Braves in danger of losing their game. First pitch on the way to the right-handed bat. Looks like Eli White's going to step in. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 swung on, lifted into right center field. Going back at the track, making the catch is the center fielder, Kiermaier. He's in for Edman. One away. One down. We're back at it tomorrow night. 6:40 first pitch. Once again, an early game the next couple of nights. First pitch on the way to Adam Duvall. They're getting everybody in the game tonight, giving the regulars some rest. Might as well, if you're about to head out on the road, you might as well get all these guys a couple of at-bats and get ready for a critical road trip. The 1-0 swung on, hit hard on the ground, scooped up over at short, 6-3 put out. Two away. Looks like Edman stayed in for shortstop, or Kiermaier came in for Rojas. The other change they had earlier was Kike Hernandez out, Gavin Lux in. Everybody else is still in for the Dodgers. Duvall came in for Soler. Eli for Michael Harris. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna as a swing and miss strike. It's 0-1. What's crazy about this is, considering how good this offense was last year, as the 0-1 swung on and lifted into deep center field, but drifting back, making the catch for Kiermaier. That'll end the inning. Braves are in danger of yet another shutout. It's such a seesaw dealing with this offense every night.
The only reason I'm even making this video today is to show y'all that the ass is poking. I must have walked by and almost knocked the damn pictures off the wall.
Dad, I don't know why you're carrying on this way. We are, after all, talking about a broken down chair. If you don't like this chair, I'll get you another one. Any chair you want. Really? All right, I'll tell you what chair I want. I want the chair I was sitting in when I watched Neil Armstrong take his first step on the moon. And when the U.S. hockey team beat the Russians in the '80 Olympics. I won the chair I was sitting in the night you called me to tell me I had a grandson. I won the chair I was in all those nights when your mother used to wake me up with a kiss after I'd fallen asleep in front of the television. You know, I still fall asleep in it. And every once in a while, when I wake up, I still expect your mother to be there ready to lead me off to bed. Oh, never mind. It's only a chair.
But I'm tired of this pandering. You can say
it works.
It works because these people don't know how the country works, and it affects them later in life when they realize when they maybe do get a job and maybe they are working or trying to contribute to society, not living off the system for their entire lives. Then later they go, well, why is inflation so high? Why are interest rates so high? You voted for it, you morons. You're easily fooled. You don't even have to be a good magician to put on a show for these people.
Tony C was having a nice, solid Tony C year, 20 home runs and 67 runs batted in on the evening of August 18th, 1967.
But on that night, Tony C's career would be changed forever by one fateful pitch.
Anyone who's ever been in a ballpark when there's a beating knows the deathly silence, and this, of course, was something that was even more acute because it was Tony C.
I was on deck when Tony got hit, and I'll tell you, the sound of the ball hitting him, I saw his cheek just blow, just like you're blowing up a balloon.
The concern was great that, was he going to lose his vision? And a lot of people just prayed and hoped that he could come back.
Tony wasn't coming back in '67, and his career was in jeopardy.
Welcome back. Luke Jackson going to eat up another inning out there. First pitch is a slider up top to Gavin Lux. It's 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves trail 9-0. The 1-1 from Jackson. 1-2. So Grant Holmes will pitch game 1 of the Cincinnati series. Then it'll be Schwellenbach and Sale. The 2-2 swing pops it up high into shallow right field. About to collide are Duvall and Biggio. Duvall called him off last second, one away. I don't know what someone was in the chat saying they weren't going to play the game on Wednesday due to rain. I don't know where you're getting that information from, but that's wildly incorrect. First pitch on the way to Shohei Ohtani is swung on, popped up high into foul territory. Drifting over just past the third base dugout. The 0-1 to Ohtani. Down and in. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Luke Jackson kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 2 away. Two down, and that'll bring Mookie Betts to the plate. Looking at the New York City forecast, there's like maybe a 20% chance of rain on Wednesday, so I don't know what that's about, but first pitch on the way to Mookie's 94 off the plate. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Up high. All the damage done by the Dodgers realistically in that 7th inning. The Braves could have kept it at about a 4-0 lead, but Merrifield goes home on a play where he really had no shot. Everybody ends up being safe. The run scores, and then it really unraveled. Kind of similar to last night, where it really unraveled at the end for the Braves after many opportunities of being able to score. This Dodger offense is really dangerous. So if you miss the opportunity to put them away, you normally will regret it. It's kind of like last year's Braves offense. The payoff pitch, down below the knees, ball 4. Luke Jackson now to face Paez. The first pitch on the way, swung on, chopped over towards short. 6-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th, unless we get one heck of a rally to put this one to bed.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, you should never. Do you?
Yes.
Nuh-uh. Do you really?
Do you not?
Hell no.
You've never done it?
Ever.
You never wanted to do it?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to.
Maybe you should do it.
Nah.
I think you should fucking
Dude, you're
do
bad.
it.
I can already tell you're a horrible influence.
I'm about a damn sucker for a cold beer. It happens all the time. It's 1,050 degrees outside, so I'll get thirsty, and I'll say, you know what sounds good? A cold beer. And I'll drink that one, and it's just not quite satisfied. It went down too easy. Or maybe just one more. And then 15 beers later, I'm drunk. And then I'll have me a little nap, and I'll wake up feeling like my sweat will smell like a brewery. Blood has turned into concrete because I'm so ungodly dehydrated. Chug some water, and I'll have a come-to-Jesus meeting with myself, and I'll say, we're not doing that for a little bit. You have got to pull it together. And that lasts about 5 minutes. Ooh, look, a cold beer. And we're off to the rodeo. If you think I'm just going to have the one, then we do whole hog around these parts. We don't half-ass nothing. Except mowing the yard. I don't do that.
The baseball fans and the Summer of Love people all seem to come and have a common ground, and all seem to come to a head in the Fenway Park bleachers.
In previous seasons, Boston couldn't give tickets away at Fenway. Now, fans were coming in droves to see their Sox.
We had standing room only crowd at every game. It became the hottest ticket in town.
Boston came alive. You would go from stoplight to stoplight and hear the game. Go to the beach, hear the game. Go anywhere.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Matt Olson, your batter. Honeywell, the pitcher. Honeywell brings it. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Braves trailed 9-0. A game where they had every opportunity to score early in the game, never took advantage. The 0-1. High and inside, 1-1. Mets walked off the Nationals. They play tomorrow, and they also play Wednesday. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Brings it. Below the knees, called for a strike. That is a 9-0 strike in the 9th inning, 2-2. Matt doesn't like it, but I mean, I'm sorry, you're going to get that at 9-0. The 2-2, outside wide, 3-2. Probably might have been a touch below, but considering the circumstances, I don't think you're ever going to get that call. The payoff pitch, swing, slice it foul. Williamson is on the mound for the Reds tomorrow night. He's got a 2.08 ERA. Grant Holmes appears to be the starter for tomorrow night. The payoff pitch, Outside wide, ball 4. So Matt will head on down to first. Won't go crazy with it, but deserves a little bit of a chop, trailing 9-0. Mo Laureano, the batter. Righty, first pitch. Outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Honeywell kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it foul. 1-1. Tomorrow for the Mets, it's McGill who has struggled at best. He'll be going head-to-head with Mitchell Parker. The 1-1. Swung on. Chops it over towards first. Freddie will take the easy out, stand on the pillow. 1 away. Matt moves up to second. Braves trying to avoid a shutout. You look at the Wednesday series, the Wednesday matchups, excuse me. Jacob Junis, who's 4-0 with the 2.73 ERA. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he has resurrected his career in Cincinnati. First pitch to Murphy is down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. And as far as the Mets are concerned, they play at 7:10. DJ Hertz versus Quintana. That's actually a pretty good pitching matchup. The 1-0 right there for a strike. 1-1. 1-1 count. Inside. Did he go around? He said he did not. 2-1. The Phillies and Mets will start their series on Thursday night in Philadelphia. The 2-1 pitch. Swing. Fouls it back. 2-2. And it looks like they'll avoid Nola, which I don't know if that's really an avoiding because they tore him up on Friday night, so they'll miss him this time around. They are expected to see Zach Wheeler. The 2-2. Chop back towards the mound. Honeywell thought about going over to third, but he'll just flip it to first, take the easy out. 2 away. Matt Olson moves over to third. Braves down to their last out. The Saturday matchup, it's Ranger Suarez versus Minaya, and then Sunday, I'm double checking that. I believe that's the Sunday night baseball game. It is Zach Wheeler versus undecided on the Mets side. First pitch to Arcia, right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Orlando 0 for 3. Another dismal night at the plate for Arcia. The 0-1. Swung on, chops it foul, 0-2. Just at some point, you got to start making sense of why he's batting above Whit Merrifield. And I know they're going to try to tell you it's because of exit velocity, but that doesn't pan out. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. 1-2 count. Standing on deck is Urshela. Defense is back and to the left. The 1-2. Swung on, dribbled over to short. Should be an easy 6-3 putout. It is, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Orlando Arcia, another 0-fer, dropping his batting average below 220. Dodgers split the series with the Braves after the Braves get the first 2 games of the series. You could really point to 2 innings in this series that unraveled the Braves that ended up with the split. Braves lose a tough one, 9-0. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. I got to be up at the crack of you-know-what, so I got to go. Y'all have a great night, Braves country. We'll see you tomorrow night, 6:40 first pitch. The heavens willing.
You're in Braves country.